It's wonderful to meet with you for devotions. Okay, so I really hope God challenges you in the area of your faith. So we're working our way through Mark 8, and what I want to look at today is sign-seeking Pharisees. Now, I want you to think about what that statement means. So the Pharisees, they know the Bible. The Pharisees, they know what the Scripture teaches. But they were filled with pride. They're filled with their old ways. Some of you old people, okay, you're my age, okay? But you're old in your brain. You're like, well, we have to do what we've always done the way we've always done it. Okay, you got to come out of that. You really do. You got to learn to trust in God and walk by faith. Now, let's see if you are a sign-seeking person. This is Mark 8, verse 11. So the Pharisees, remember, they're always challenging Jesus. They came and they began to argue with him, seeking from him a sign from heaven to test him. Did you see that? I want to stop it right now. So we have these miracle workers today. They got all these people. They go to these big meetings. They'll go to that big meeting. They go to this big healing service. They go to this place, which they'll go there, and the preacher is going to tell them how God's going to give them 100 times more money than what they're making right now. Okay, now, there's truth in all of that to a point, but these people are just sign-seeking, and if they don't see a sign, they're not going to believe. And there's those who preach, and they want people to believe that God is a sign giver, constantly, endlessly. That is not true. Okay, so they're testing him. They want to see signs. So Jesus sighed deeply in his heart. Why? Because Jesus doesn't want people always wanting something from him. He wants people just to believe. Like people constantly, well, I'm not going to do this until you prove it. Well, I'm not going to do that unless you give me a sign. God will give you signs. I have asked for signs, but hardly ever. Only because I trusted him, but I didn't trust what was going on in my mind, and I wanted to be sure I knew that this is what he wanted me to do, and he would give me a sign. But I wasn't asking for a sign of a miracle. So look what it says here. Jesus is disgusted. He says, why does this generation seek a sign? He goes, truly, I say to you, no sign will be given to this generation. Jesus already did all sorts of things. To the Pharisees, he goes, no, I'm not showing you nothing. Do you have a sign-seeking heart? Are you a doubting Thomas? Okay, that's a shame. That's not something to brag about. That means you have little or no faith. Like you believe Jesus died for you, but things he wants you to do, you're not going to do it unless he proves to you all the time. That is wrong. That upsets him because that means you don't trust him. Mark 8, verse 15. So Jesus, he cautioned them saying, watch out, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod. Now, I'm going to talk about this more tomorrow. So the leaven, what does the leaven do? If you have a lump of dough that has leaven, and it is sitting beside dough that doesn't have leaven. You remember Devin? Devin's my daughter-in-law. She's the one that works on my film. Devin and leaven. There we go. Okay, so leaven, if they're together side by side, the leaven from the one pile of dough will infect the next pile. And you can see it because it'll begin to rise. Okay, so what it's saying is, you be careful who you're hanging out with. You be careful we're not listening to worldly, fleshly, even Christians, and always wanting a sign. Listen, don't let that. God doesn't want you operating your Christian life in the flesh. Look, sometimes all you need is a big leap of faith, right? Big leap of faith. Sometimes you come to the edge of the cliff and you say, I just got to jump. I just got to trust in God. Look, never doubt in the dark what God has told you in the light. Okay, walk by faith. Trust in the Lord. It's okay to ask for a sign because you don't know what his will is. But if he tells you to do something and you know it, you go. Take the leap of faith.